Yes boys, daily uploads for you right here, and this video is gonna be about pain points. Yes boys, daily uploads for you right here. This video is gonna be about pain points. One very important thing in sales and in appointment setting specifically. And after watching this video, you better go out and start digging pain points like crazy. So, first of all, for some of you that maybe don't know yet, what's the pain point? What's the pain point? So, pretty much the definition is simple, and I would say that that's something that causes the pain to the biz owner or potential prospect. To the business owner slash potential prospect. So, the thing is that this pain doesn't have to be physical pain. It's just like an obstacle stopping them from achieving a certain goal that they would like to achieve. And your job as an appointment setter is to reveal what that pain point could actually be. The main problem they are currently facing with their business, let's say. That's the definition of a pain point. And the reason this is important is because in the sales industry, we are, of course, known as professional problem solvers. Whether you're looking for your first client or you're still looking for your first commission working for some client, it's extremely important to find a pain point that you could potentially solve for them. So let me give you one quick example right here of a pain point. Let's say we have a business owner that we outreach to. We are working for a B2B company, let's say. He is still in his 9 to 5, let's say. He's still in his 9 to 5 because he wants to have a stable income until his business skyrockets, and in my opinion that's something completely normal before he actually starts making some serious cash with his business. Then let's say he recently started, obviously because he's tired of his 9 to 5, he wants to quit it with this business, and let's say he would like to get more leads. And now, this is our guy. In order to find his pain point, you need to ask him some questions. For example, you can ask him something like, what are you currently doing to generate more leads, bro, if you don't mind me asking? He's probably gonna say something like, oh, I'm just cold outreaching, but to be honest, I don't have much time due to my full-time job. And now, you have just identified two main pain points. First one. His first pain point is, of course, not many leads, which is the main reason he's doing that cold outreach. And the second one is not much time. Not much time to do that outreach because of his 9 to 5. So he's kind of stuck in between. He's kind of stuck in an endless cycle. And usually, these two are some typical pain points you'll see when you're doing your personal prospecting, either for your, let's say, appointment setting services, or if you're working for a B2B company. On the other hand, if you're working for some B2C companies, let's say a fitness coach, then typical pain points will be that leads are not satisfied with their bodies, they are insecure, they are skinny or they are fat, and these are all genuine pain points, like the main problems they are facing. And it all really depends on your target audience. So, how do you actually find pain points? How do you actually find those pain points, and what's the procedure for you to find them? And you might be surprised if I told you that it's pretty simple definition, but I'd say that it's hard to put it in use, and that is by asking right and targeted questions. By asking right and targeted questions. That's how you go about digging inside their pain and finding more about their current situation. Some people will be, of course, easier to get the pain points from, while others will be a lot more close with their guard up immediately, and in that case you need to appear more genuine in order to find your way through their defenses. Like I said, some people will be really open to you and they'll answer all your questions, while these others won't even realize that they have a certain pain point, and in fact, they'll rather live and keep the pain points deep inside them than confronting that pain point to someone else. They are the people we need to help the most. we need to find and amplify their pain point. We need to leverage their pain point in order for them to actually admit that pain point. So just find and amplify. So how do we actually ask these targeted business related questions to find that pain point? So first thing you need is to understand your target audience. That's your first step before you actually proceed further with digging inside their pain points. Like I said with that fitness coach example, you need to find what their typical pain points are, the pain points of your target audience. So for example, I know the ins and outs of my target audience for this appointment setting program that I'm running. Men only, of course. They want to escape their 9 to 5, they want freedom, they want to provide for their loved ones, etc, etc. So if I ask some targeted questions, in order to target these specific answers, then that's going to help speed up the process in some way. If I know someone who's working a 9 to 5 and he hates his boss, he wants to change, I would ask him, oh, how are you currently finding that job? Then that person is going to tell me his real thoughts about his job, and even if he doesn't tell me for some reason, then I have to keep digging a little bit more still by asking these right targeted questions right here. So for example, I can continue with asking something like, oh, I get you, bro, how long have you been doing it for? Or even a little deeper question like, what are your plans for the future? Those are some examples of targeted business related questions specifically for my B2C offer. That kind of makes them realize that I'm genuinely interested to hear more about their current situation and desired outcome. And of course, that I genuinely just want to help them out with it. So then, let's say you're doing your personal prospecting. You're still searching for your first offer. Something you typically ask if you are still in a search for a first client is, yes bro, well, how do you manage everything yourself? No, actually, do you manage everything yourself? That would be a better one. Yes, I do. Then you'll ask something. Oh, sounds great. How do you manage to do it with so many other things on your end? How are you able to enjoy yourself for a bit? You can just keep digging and asking those questions. Yeah, a good thing you can ask him as well is, I'm literally gonna write it down. How do you manage to do everything, bro? It seems like you have so much work to do. Haha. This haha part is of course keeping you lighthearted without any pushy, salesy vibes, and usually it's not a good thing to make assumptions like here. It seems like you're XYZ, but in this specific scenario, you can just assume that he has a lot of things on his end, and if he doesn't have enough leads, then the other thing you can ask is simply, how many leads are you getting per week? That's another question that you can ask. Or even maybe something different, a little bit more direct, like, do you get many new students? If he has a coaching program, if he runs a certain program like me, that's what you can ask. Those are some examples, and I'd actually like to give you one more. Let's say this one is more for B2B offers. What's the main problem you're facing with your biz at the moment? So like you can see here, biz at the ATM, you want to match their vibes, and saying biz makes you seem genuine, lighthearted, and you don't appear as a pushy salesman. Once again, we just genuinely want to know. You can see how every question right here kinda is not kinda, it really is targeted question and opens a way for a pain point to get revealed. These are all targeted questions where you are specifically trying to extract a pain point from them. Once again, you need to understand your target audience. And you can only do that by speaking to your business owner, by speaking with your client. You need to have a conversation with them about your target audience, because it's very important that you must know what their pain points typically are. These are some examples when you're doing your personal prospecting, when you're messaging a business owner, obviously offering them your appointment setting services. I mean, of course, don't just go out and copy-paste these messages, copy-paste these questions, just use your brain, you know. These are just some examples you can use to extract a certain pain point. Try to find things that are more relevant to the conversation you're having with a certain lead. And what I want to include as well, it's important to find pain points. Like I said earlier, some people will give you pain points, others will be harder to get the pain points from. But what's important is that you actually build relationship with those people. We need to avoid facing so many objections and trust issues. So in order to do that, you always need to build a foundation of trust first before trying to find a pain point. This one is very, very important thing. So this is an extremely important part of this whole video. You need to build a foundation of trust before trying to actually find pain points. If you have already established trust, they are going to be more likely to share some of these sticky, little more personal things and problems with you. One more important thing I always say is that you don't come across as just another salesman. I always repeat that, and I will always be saying that until it's drilled deep inside you. Never come across as a salesman. Never. If they pick up by any chance that you're a salesman, their defenses are gonna go up and you're not gonna get anything from them. As soon as they sense that you're trying to sell them something, they're not going to even want to talk with you. And even if they do, then you'll face a bunch of objections, some smokescreen objections or anything like that. So yeah, pretty much these are all questions, not private, but more personal than the others. And these are questions that you're not gonna feel comfortable answering just to anyone. So keep in mind to build that relationship with them before proceeding further, and only then, after you successfully build a foundation of trust, only then you can ask these targeted business related questions. You want to ask some less intrusive questions first, then slowly build your way up to asking those little riskier, more personal questions. Of course, start off with light-hearted questions that they don't mind answering, because if you ask them straight away something like, how many leads are you getting per week? They'll be all wondering like, why does this guy want to know this? What's he trying to sell me? You know? And I generally believe that you would react in the same way. So yeah, I think I covered everything today, boys. This is exactly how you become a pain point master, by implementing all of this. Build a relationship, ask less risky questions first, build your way up, and offer a call where either you or your client will share some tips and tricks with the prospect so he can sort the pain point out. And by the way, the reason I said share some tips and tricks is because that's the way you propose a call. You need to attach his pain point back to the call to action. So, for example, just one last thing before I wrap this up. For example, this is how I propose a call. Would you be opposed to book a quick call? Yeah, let's say quick call so I can share some tips and tricks on how you can improve your, then you put his problem. That's why I'm gonna say XYZ problem. For example, for my own appointment setting program, after they are warm enough, I say, would you be opposed to book a quick call so I can share some tips and tricks with you on how you can improve, on how you can reach your XYZ goal that a certain person has. So yeah, like I said, start using this step-by-step roadmap and your client is gonna beg you to keep setting for him. At that point, you can ask for any commission percentage or a base payment plus certain percentage of the deal, because you're gonna start digging pain points like crazy, booking only qualified calls like crazy, and yeah, make more money for your guy. If you need some extra help, don't hesitate to DM me on my IG down there in the description, or also in the description I'm gonna put my calendar link so you can book a one-on-one call with me and I'll help you personally. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Keep grinding.